As Taylor Swift prepares to begin her bridal era, she's reportedly tying up loose ends from the past. According to recent reports, Taylor confronted Blake Lively, removed her from the wedding guest list, and quietly cut ties by distancing her from her inner circle of friends.
People don't need to bubble wrap me in their minds as much as they do.
She feels like she deserves to be here, and then there was this big upheaval of, no, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. She sucks, actually.
And we are not getting back together ever, ever, ever. And I just kind of apparently angrily ranted about it for a while.
Taylor Swift values her privacy fiercely. She rarely opens up about her personal relationships, and she's known for keeping her private life out of the spotlight. That's why she reportedly doesn't take it lightly when someone she trusts shares details about her personal life behind the scenes.
There's a lot of stuff that I never speak out about, right? Like people try to provoke me all the time, right? Because it would be valuable for someone to like get under my skin, have me clap back. Then they get like, I don't know what, you get like a bunch of followers out of it. It's like, I'm not interested.
At this point, privacy is one of Taylor Swift's biggest priorities. But according to ongoing reports and industry speculation, that wasn't the approach taken by her former close friend, Blake Lively. As Blake's public image came under intense scrutiny amid her legal dispute with Justin Baldoni, insiders claimed she found herself increasingly isolated from many of her Hollywood connections. The phone calls reportedly slowed down, dinner invitations became less frequent, and social circles that once welcomed her allegedly began keeping their distance. Reports also claim that, during this period, Blake leaned on her friendship with Taylor in conversations within exclusive Hollywood circles. According to these accounts, she allegedly shared private details about Taylor's upcoming wedding, including possible venues, potential guest lists, people who might not receive invitations, and even tentative dates. If those claims are true, they describe exactly the kind of deeply personal information Taylor has always worked hard to keep confidential. As more rumors about those private wedding plans began circulating online, speculation quickly turned to the source of the leaks. According to the reports, Taylor's team looked into how the information had spread and allegedly concluded that Blake was the only person outside her closest inner circle who had access to many of those details. That alleged breach of trust reportedly led to a private confrontation between the two, ultimately bringing their once close friendship to a dramatic breaking point.
Biggest pet peeve?
People who mistake kindness for weakness.
According to new reports, Taylor Swift allegedly confronted Blake Lively and made it clear that she believed the situation had crossed a line. By that point, their friendship was already rumored to be under strain following the controversy surrounding previously leaked text messages. But insiders claim this latest incident became the final breaking point. If those reports are accurate, Taylor reportedly felt that one of the most important moments of her life had been compromised. What was meant to be an intimate, carefully guarded celebration had allegedly become the subject of Hollywood gossip, leaving her feeling that the trust between them had been irreparably broken.
It isn't just Taylor who's traumatized by this. This whole situation is just as upsetting and embarrassing for Blake.
I function best when I have too much on my plate, but it's what I do.
To understand why Taylor Swift was reportedly so upset, it's important to look at how insiders claim Blake Lively relied on her friendship during the "It Ends With Us" controversy. Taylor has long been known for her loyalty to the people closest to her. Anyone who has followed her career knows she has a history of standing by her friends when they need support. According to reports and speculation, when Blake reached out to Taylor during the "It Ends With Us" production, she described herself as being locked in a battle over creative control with Justin Baldoni. Those reports suggest Taylor trusted her friend's version of events and believed she was supporting someone who had been treated unfairly. Critics have since argued that the story Blake allegedly presented appealed directly to Taylor's values of loyalty and standing up for those she cares about. According to those claims, Blake told Taylor that she held significant control over the "It Ends With Us" film rights and portrayed the dispute with Justin Baldoni as a woman fighting to protect her creative voice against someone attempting to take that control away. Those allegations remain disputed, but they have become a central part of the broader public debate surrounding the controversy.
We have an incredible team behind us, but there's nothing I'm not involved.
According to reports and allegations surrounding the dispute, Blake Lively portrayed Justin Baldoni as the villain throughout the controversy. But critics claim the story didn't end there. They argue the alleged deception extended beyond their personal conflict and into the marketing of It Ends With Us itself. Some reports allege that Blake assured both Sony Pictures and Taylor Swift that all necessary clearances and creative approvals had been secured for the use of Taylor's hit song, My Tears Ricochet, in the film's official trailer. Those claims remain disputed, but they have become a major point of discussion among those following the controversy. Reports also claim that Blake told people within her Hollywood circle that the film was going through a traditional bake-off process, an industry practice in which test audiences compare two different edits before a final version is chosen. According to those allegations, she described her own version as the studio's preferred cut while presenting Justin Baldoni's edit as the competing alternative. Critics argue that, if true, those claims would have strengthened the perception that Blake held greater creative authority over the project while further sidelining Justin during the film's production.
Blake Lively wanted her version of the movie to go into theaters, and there was a lot of drama about.
According to court filings and text messages that later became public, critics of Blake Lively argue they found little evidence supporting the narrative that Justin Baldoni had created a hostile workplace. They point to the released communications, claiming they contain little discussion of workplace safety concerns and instead focus on creative disagreements and other issues surrounding the production. Some commentators have also argued that the messages suggest frustration over Justin's reaction to Taylor Swift's involvement in the project rather than the serious allegations that later emerged publicly. Those interpretations remain disputed, but they have fueled ongoing debate about what was happening behind the scenes. According to these reports, Taylor eventually realized she may have been drawn into a highly public legal dispute without knowing the full story. If those accounts are accurate, she believed she had been supporting a close friend in good faith, only to later question whether she had been given a complete and accurate picture of the situation. Insiders claim that realization was deeply disappointing and marked a significant turning point in her relationship with Blake.
You didn't see it coming?
No.
So how did you find out?
I found out when it was online, like when it hit the news.
Nobody in your inner circle
Nobody knew.
And you didn't smell it?
No.
The controversy reportedly intensified when private text messages involving Blake Lively and Taylor Swift became part of the public conversation. Those messages quickly fueled widespread debate about the nature of their friendship and Blake's approach to the dispute. In one widely discussed exchange, Blake reportedly referred to Taylor as her dragon, while comparing herself to Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones. Critics argue that the language suggested Blake viewed Taylor's influence as a powerful advantage during the conflict rather than simply as the support of a close friend. That interpretation has become one of the most talked about aspects of the controversy. According to those critics, the messages gave the impression that Taylor's celebrity and reputation were being used as leverage in a creative dispute rather than remaining separate from it. Whether that was Blake's actual intent continues to be debated, but the leaked texts significantly intensified public scrutiny of their relationship.
I can see why Taylor feels betrayed and is angry and, is distancing herself, because it seemed like, on the surface, that Blake was using her without her knowledge, was throwing her name around, was taking advantage of their friendship and her power and her influence without Taylor's.
According to reports and public commentary, the biggest issue for Taylor Swift was not just what the leaked messages contained. It was the fact that a private conversation had become part of the public record. Suddenly, personal exchanges, casual remarks, and candid moments were being analyzed, debated, and scrutinized by millions of people. For someone who has spent years carefully protecting her privacy and public image, that kind of exposure was reportedly devastating. Taylor's reputation has long been one of her most valuable assets, built on years of cultivating an image centered on professionalism, loyalty, and supporting other artists. Insiders claim she felt that trust had been broken when private conversations were pulled into a highly public controversy. Critics of Blake Lively argue that Taylor's name, influence, and public reputation became intertwined with a legal and creative dispute without her full understanding of how the situation would unfold. They contend that Taylor's support was used to strengthen one side of the conflict, while supporters of Blake dispute that characterization. As the legal battle continued, The leaked messages only intensified public scrutiny and placed Taylor in the middle of a controversy she had reportedly never intended to become part of.
She was using power and influence from people close to her to pressure Justin allegedly, and probably to make him feel like these huge industry giants were going to turn.
According to reports, the controversy surrounding It Ends With Us may have already been enough to permanently damage Taylor Swift and Blake Lively's friendship. But insiders claim the situation took an even more dramatic turn as Blake faced mounting criticism during the film's press tour. As backlash over Blake's interviews and public appearances intensified, reports suggest her reputation and business ventures came under increasing pressure. According to those accounts, Blake hoped one of the most influential people in her life, Taylor Swift, would publicly come to her defense and help shift the narrative. That public show of support, however, never came. Some reports further allege that Blake's legal team contacted Taylor's representatives in an effort to secure a public statement supporting Blake after the Super Bowl. Those allegations have been widely discussed, although they remain disputed. Even more controversially, reports claimed there were concerns that private text messages between the two friends could become public if Taylor declined to speak out. If true, the implications were enormous. Blake reportedly possessed years of private conversations with Taylor, messages exchanged over the course of a decade that likely included personal discussions, private opinions, and the kind of candid conversations close friends have behind closed doors. The mere possibility that those messages could be exposed reportedly left Taylor's team deeply concerned. Critics argue that the episode fundamentally changed how Taylor viewed the friendship. From their perspective, the relationship appeared to become conditional, one in which Taylor's influence and public support were expected whenever Blake faced a crisis. According to those reports, that realization marked the point of no return. Whether those allegations are ultimately proven or disputed, many observers believe the controversy irreparably damaged the trust that had once defined their relationship.
She likes to control everything so tightly, and now it's all unraveled. And she has no doubt in her team sweating this and livid about it.
According to reports and widespread speculation, Taylor Swift's response to the alleged threats was anything but passive. Some accounts claim that her father, Scott Swift, became deeply concerned after concluding that Blake Lively was attempting to use Taylor's name and influence in the ongoing controversy. Those reports allege that Scott spoke with Taylor about the situation and urged her to distance herself from the legal dispute. According to the same accounts, he believed Blake's allegations against Justin Baldoni were not supported by sufficient evidence and that the escalating conflict posed a serious risk to Taylor's own reputation. These claims remain disputed. Perhaps the most dramatic allegation is that Scott allegedly shared information with Justin Baldoni's legal team regarding claims that Taylor's private text messages could be made public if she did not issue a statement supporting Blake. Public reporting has discussed allegations involving communications between the parties, but many of the specific details remain contested and have not been conclusively established. According to those reports, the alleged decision to cooperate marked a decisive turning point. Insiders claim it sent a clear message that Taylor was stepping away from the controversy and no longer wanted her name or reputation tied to the dispute. Whether those allegations are ultimately proven or not, commentators have pointed to this moment as the point where the once close friendship was believed to have completely unraveled.
I can't put up walls and not care what people think. So I have to not subject myself to things that are going to hurt my feelings.
Taylor Swift has experienced her share of high-profile friendships and public fallouts throughout her career. Over the years, she's navigated widely publicized conflicts involving celebrities such as Katy Perry, Karlie Kloss, Kim Kardashian, and Kanye West. One pattern many fans have noticed is that, as Taylor has grown older, she appears less interested in public feuds and more inclined to quietly distance herself from people when trust is broken. According to online speculation, signs of a growing distance between Taylor and Blake Lively may have appeared well before their alleged private messages became part of the broader legal controversy. Fans pointed to subtle changes on social media, particularly the absence of the birthday tributes they had exchanged in previous years. When Taylor's birthday arrived in December 2024, observers noted that Blake did not post the kind of public message she had shared in the past. Likewise, when Blake's birthday came around later, Taylor also remained publicly silent. Fans also noticed that the frequent likes, comments, and online interactions that had once defined their friendship appeared to disappear. While none of those observations confirmed the status of their relationship, they fueled widespread speculation that the two had quietly drifted apart. As the legal controversy surrounding Blake continued to attract headlines, Taylor did not make any public statement addressing the dispute. Instead, she remained focused on her own career, celebrating record-breaking achievements with the Eras Tour, releasing new music, and continuing to share moments from her relationship with Travis Kelce. To many observers, that silence spoke louder than any public response, reinforcing speculation that the once close friendship had come to an end.
You don't have to forgive and you don't have to forget to move on.
When a friendship this significant falls apart, the effects rarely stop with the two people involved. They often ripple through everyone around them, according to reports and speculation that also extended to their partners. Some commentators have suggested that Travis Kelce viewed the end of Taylor Swift's friendship with Blake Lively as less of a loss and more of a relief. Travis was never known to have a close personal friendship with Blake or Ryan Reynolds outside of his relationship with Taylor, so as reports of the fallout intensified and the controversy surrounding the leaked text messages grew, his connection to the couple was also believed to have naturally faded.